Hello, my name is Brandy Harris. This is my capstone thesis campaign on Married Communications Power Up Online Presence. My mission is to increase the social media following, which will in turn increase the online presence of Murray Communications channel Power 107. Murray Communications currently has 5 different radio stations, but this will be the one station that I will be focusing on for their online presence with my capstone project. So the goal for this capstone campaign is to actually increase social media awareness for the Murray Communication brand in an effort to also increase listening status and popularity for the company. So I will actually do this by both visual and vocal stimulators on social media. This can include photos of our clientele as well as the listeners and videos of the talent in action at different events interacting with our listeners. This will in turn promote and encourage relationships between the stakeholders, clientele, talent, and listeners, which will also increase the comfort level and trust between all parties. If there is trust and comfort in between all parties, the goal will be accomplished. Entertainment gurus employed by iHeartMedia can be seen as more influential than those employed by Cox Media Group since their numbers are usually a great amount higher in ratings, which is one of my references. So I mentioned that because if the media company is seen as more influential, their numbers do actually increase because of their status within the community. Our objectives were there are 3 objectives for our capstone project. The first one would be to increase Murray Communications employee rosters brand awareness, which will be focusing on the talent, the DJs, our producers, and their social media pages. Our second objective would be to increase the fans and listeners' loyalty to the company as well as the individual talent. Recently, our company has lost a few different people, which has made the talent roster a little bit shaky, as well as our clientele a little bit shaky because of the fact that we've lost some of our key players. So, because of that, we will go back to trying to increase the revenue for the business, for more patrons to come out to the events, as well as encouraging more listeners to tune into the shows airing on a daily basis so we can get some of that loyalty back from both the clientele, the listeners, and our previous sponsors. Our third objective is to increase the amount of sponsors and radio ads sold on an annual basis. Without revenue, any company would be basically doomed to failure. So, if we increased our sponsors and increased the radio ads, we'll be able to add more events for the community, which will in turn increase the amount of listeners that we actually have paying attention to our station. And we do that by adding on extra social media. The strategies that we will put in place will include multiple contests that will be implemented on a weekly basis through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Some of the contests will include the encouraging of repostings at the request of different DJs that will in turn be reposted by the station's social media site, meaning retweets and repostings of different pictures on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. These shout outs can make our followers' social media followings increase as well as ours. Our other prizes will include concert tickets and guest speakers to be featured during one of the more popular shows during the week. We will be having extra clientele come in and sit in during some of the shows in an effort to regain that consciousness in the community. Per my research that was completed in a survey asking what would make college students mention businesses on social media, from the results both focus groups and surveys that were completed in that particular research, all participants had a sense of empowerment and importance when they received mentions from social media outlets from the disc jockeys in the past. Surveys are also a way to to acknowledge focuses and beliefs of your target audience. The tactics that I will take to meet my goal will include the utilization of social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, to name a few. Promotions of the actual social media sites will be cross references in between the other sites to gain social media followings. Also included in the sites will be advertising of contests implemented by the station on the same avenues. Success of the campaign will be measured through the increase of followings on social media followings that will be accounted for once a week in an effort to see where the largest followings come from and to measure if there are any spikes in followings after some of the contests are actually implemented. At the beginning of my capstone project, I actually started the page completely over, and we have now grown to 852 followings in Instagram alone. So the word is getting out there, and my capstone project will be complete. And here are my sources. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.